Greetings, everyone. I'm Jamie Farr, the Superintendent of the Canandaigua City School District. I am going to highlight the Revitalization Capital Project, which we hope to bring to the community to vote on December 3rd of this school year. And so let me just share my screen and we'll just jump right in. Okay. So moving along, the capital project is a $70 million capital project. We have about $13.5 million in reserves that we'll put towards a project that the voters approved for us to have. And the rest will be state aid funded. And so we can do all the work you're about to see at no additional cost to taxpayers. This is at the primary elementary school. We'll do about $18 million worth of work, and I'll highlight all of that work in the following slides. So as an overview, we'll do all the asphalt parking on the upper side of the primary elementary school that you see here. This black line here is actually a fence that we'll put up. And because we own all of this property over here, we feel like this is an added measure for safety to have this fence go along here. We will replace the sidewalks around the bus loop. We will add 3 different playgrounds. I'll talk about that a little bit more in the future, and a new dumpster pad. So we also need to replace some roofs. So these sections that are outlined in orange will be replaced. Currently, they're black roofs. We're going to change to white roof. That helps with climate control. And here is a UPK playground that will be brand new in the courtyard that's near the primary school cafeteria. And so this is an image of what it would look like. And here's another image of what it would look like. This is specifically designed for that age group. And as you can see, this is a synthetic surface that goes around it. It's not rubber pellets or mulch or anything like that. It's a clean, safe surface that you see on a lot of modern playgrounds. This is the primary school playground. We'd completely redo this as well. And again, it would have that synthetic surface all the way around it. And you can see the various stations that kids could play on. And here are a couple other angles of what that would look like. And here's the elementary side playground. Again, synthetic surface all the way around, different stations for students to play on. And here's another angle. And so we're working with a playground company that specializes in designing playgrounds that are challenging for different age groups, yet safe to keep kids engaged and enjoying the spaces. This is our current playground, or at least one of them, and you can kind of see the shape that they're in. And here's another look at another playground in the condition that they're in. We've had to shut down multiple portions of our playgrounds just because they've been broken, damaged beyond repair, and so desperate need of new playgrounds. On the upper parking lot, we will replace all the asphalt, and this is just an image of the walkway down and the corrosion with the handrail. We'll replace all of this, the parking, the sidewalks, everything. On this side of the building. And you can kind of just see how the asphalt is deteriorating. This work won't be done for a few more years, so it'll just continue to deteriorate until that point, unfortunately. Here's a sidewalk around the bus loop. Again, you see the deterioration of that happening. And here's another angle of that. We've replaced all of the sidewalk. Adding air conditioning to all of our cafeterias district-wide. So this is the primary cafeteria. This is the elementary cafeteria. And we'd also add it in the large group instruction room. We're adding air conditioning to these spaces. We've already done it in the libraries throughout the district and in the theaters throughout the district. Again, large cooling spaces for those really hot days. It certainly helps. At the middle school, we'll spend about $12.5 million. I just want to point out a couple things before I go to the following slides. Currently, the generator is on the roof. We'll relocate that to ground level and a bigger generator to help us run in emergency situations, and we're going to replace the generator because it's not operating very well. But looking at the overview of the map, you can see all the asphalt surfaces that will be replaced throughout the project. These asphalt surfaces are in pretty rough shape. You'll notice the bus loop is not getting replaced because that was replaced in the last capital project. You'll also see some roof replacement at the middle school, this little section here. Again, it'll be replaced with a white roof, which will help with climate control. The rest of the roofing system is in good shape. The gymnasium is beyond really life expectancy. The floor we can't sand anymore. It will expose the nails. It's been sanded, the max amount of times. You see the bleachers starting to break apart and deteriorate. And just the baskets, the backboards, the walls need to be painted. Everything's just in really old shape that needs to be updated. And you can see some of the padding that's in rough shape as well. And so we look to completely renovate this space, and it could look a lot like this. New floor, new bleachers, new baskets, new paint, new curtain to divide the space. new padding, everything just brand new and really beautiful. This is the boys' locker room. We've recently renovated the girls' locker room. The boys' locker room has new lockers, as you can see here. So those will maintain and we'll keep those. But everything else needs to be renovated, as you can see. It's really rough shape, from the flooring to walls to the toilets to the sinks. Everything's in really rough shape, as you can see, and needs to be renovated. And this is what it could look like. The fitness center at the middle school is a nice space, but it's a repurposed space. So it needs to be opened up and just, brightened up and a more efficient use of the space. It is heavily used, and so we'd like to just open up these walls and make it a flow much better so that the students can maximize their time in there. These are the digital signs at the middle school. We have 2 of them. They're great for communicating with folks, but they are very old, and we have a hard time getting parts for them when they break, and so we'd like to update those. On the left, you see current doors across the district, and these are the new doors that we've been replacing these doors with. So we'd like to continue doing this all across the district, not just at the middle school, but every single building, move from this door to this door. They're more impact resistant and just safer. This is a look at our asphalt at the middle school, and you can see how it's starting to crumble and deteriorate. And there's just another look at the asphalt. And adding air conditioning to the cafeteria as another cooling space, large space to keep cool. We renovate the middle school kitchen. We have almost all new equipment in there, which is great. And so we just need to better manage the workflow space like we did at the primary school. That really just makes the job so much easier for the staff that work in there. At the academy, we'd spend about $30 million. I wanted to point out, again, we're going to replace the generator that needs to happen. Our elevator needs to be replaced. It's almost impossible to get parts for it now, and so we need to replace that. And then new library carpet, and again, exterior doors, like I just mentioned. Everything else in this list I'm about to talk about on the following slides. So if we look at an overhead view, this black dashed line here is actually our property line. Not a lot of people know that. We don't own the softball field or this baseball field or most of the parking lot for that matter. This is VA property, and VA is a great partner, and we still intend to use the property so long as they let us use it. But we'd also like to add to this stadium facility on our property. And so what you see here is a turf softball and baseball field that has enough space that can be games can play simultaneously. This outfield fence for baseball and softball would go up for the entire baseball softball season, but it's removable. It can be taken down outside of their season, and the outfields, all turf, you could practice soccer, lacrosse, football. There's plenty of room out here to practice all of that. And we'd actually need to replace the stadium turf. It'll be about 11 years old by the time this project comes about, and turf lasts typically 8 to 10 years. And so that would be replaced. Our tennis courts currently are right here. There's 6 of them. We would move it over by the faculty parking and have 8 so that JV and varsity could play here instead of the middle school. We've tried to renovate the tennis courts in their current location multiple times over the years, and for whatever reason, that surface continues to crumble. And I'll show you pictures of that shortly. And so, this is just kind of a brief overview. I'm going to get into more of the details on future slides. So here's the tennis courts. Again, it would be 8 courts right by faculty parking. We'd have to move the discus area over to this space, and there's plenty of room for that. But this would allow JV and varsity to actually compete here at the academy, and they would have 8 courts. They need that to be able to compete there. This is the softball and baseball turf facility. Again, what you'll notice is a pole barn here for athletic and facilities equipment. You'll notice a visitor dugout with some bleachers, a home dugout with some bleachers. The home dugout has 2 stories. The second story will be where the PA announcement and scorekeeping will take place. And there will be a large netting that will run at the end of the stadium, the main stadium, so that foul balls aren't hit over into the stadium. It would block that from happening. And the fields will be lit so they could play at night, which would be a great feature. This is another angle. This is the softball field. Again, 2-story dugout for the home side for PA and scorekeeping. And you can see the stadium right over here and how it would be positioned. But again, plenty of space for both games to be played at the same time, and batter boxes and pitcher mounds to warm up on in these spaces and these spaces. At the academy, in the academic wing, there'll be 4 of these structures. We're going to take the footprint of the bathrooms that are there. We're going to renovate them and create these hallways here, as you can see. hallways run this way, and then we'll add these hallways in through here. And we're going to take that space and we're going to make these single-use bathrooms that are floor-to-ceiling walls. And inside each stall will be a toilet and a sink. And so you can see students will have privacy, and these will be gender-neutral bathrooms. And there'll be a faculty bathroom, an accessible bathroom, and all these single-use bathrooms as well. But again, floor-to-wall ceilings, and these are in the academic spaces. There'll be 4 of them set up this way. In the atrium and down by the gymnasium, these are what's typically called gang bathrooms, or large group bathrooms, what you're traditionally used to seeing. Those will be renovated as well, and they'll remain in the current kind of structure, these gang bathroom style structures that are there now, but they'll just be renovated and brought up to more today's standards and just nicer spaces than what they are currently. These are our current tennis courts, and you can kind of see the condition that they're in isn't the best. And when you zoom in, you'll see these big cracks that are trip hazards, and not really great. They continue to form. Every time we've tried to repair them, they continue to form. And for whatever reason, this location is not great for hard surface tennis courts. So we would remove them, put the courts over by faculty parking, and then turn this back into just grass area. This is the concession stand at the track. We'd replace this with either a brick building or a prefab metal building, and we clean up all of this space. We have such a beautiful facility in terms of the stadiums and everything that's planned here that we'd want this to kind of be in alignment with all of that. This is the track scoreboard, and we do have exhibition field within the track that soccer and lacrosse sometimes does play on. We'd add a new scoreboard here, and we'd add a track timing system that really would help track meets flow faster. And it's just much better for the athletes and for the fans. If you've been to Victor, you'll see they have exactly what we'd like to put in at our track and that area. These are the stairwells at the academy. You can see the corrosion on the risers all the way, and every stairwell has this. And then the treads themselves are bubbling. And so we'd want to renovate every one of the stairwells. They're really in rough shape, as you can see, but we try to preserve the murals that the students have done over the years. In the corridors, we'd replace all ceiling tiles, and we'd also put in high efficiency LED lighting that we've done in the other buildings, and you see how much more vibrant and bright it's made them. And so it would look something like this. The cafeteria would have air conditioning, as I mentioned. Our art rooms would be completely renovated. There's some delamination happening, and these are really well loved and used spaces. They just need to be renovated. They're original to the building, and so over 30 years old and in need of some upgrades. Same with our tech rooms. This was built in 1990, and so technology has changed tremendously in that time. Our curriculum has changed with the times, and our teachers are great about that, but the spaces have not really been able to change. So we need to renovate these spaces and bring them up to the times, as you can see from these photos. At our operations center, we need to replace all the asphalt. It's original to 2006. And because we're replacing the asphalt, we're going to put down conduit in case we really do need to move to electrification of buses, that the conduit is already down and we don't have to tear up new asphalt to do that. And so you can kind of see all the patchwork that's happened at the operations center with the asphalt here. And then district-wide, we need to do some IT upgrades. We need to add fiber redundancy and replace Ethernet cable throughout. And so again, the vote would be on December 3rd. There's multiple phases to it, should it be passed, and the final phase would be done in 2028. Again, it's a $70 million project. We're using 13.5 about in reserves, and we could do all the work you just saw without any additional cost to taxpayers. So again, thank you very much. I hope that you come out to vote on December 3rd and make your voice heard.